Welcome, this is Biji Philip from Adya Krantivir Vasudev Belvanth Phadke Vidyalaya English Medium Sector 6 Noopanwell. Today we are going to learn Standard 8 English Unit number 1 1.3 poem. The name of the poem The Pilgrim, and the poet is anonymous, that is unknown poet. But this is an inspiring and touching poem with a strong message. The poem conveys to us is that we must be generous and unselfish and think of others. We must try to help others who are not as experienced as we are. Let's begin the poem. A pilgrim going a lone highway came at evening, cold and grey, to a chasm deep and vast and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. Look at the image, children. The old man, that is a pilgrim. The old man is the pilgrim going a lone highway. Okay, pilgrim means what? A traveler or a person who visit a religious place. A person who visit a religious place. Okay, he is going a lone highway. Lone means a lonely. Highway here means a mountainous path. And came at evening, cold and grey. Grey means dull, or we can say it's grey is a color also. To a chasm. Chasm means ravine. Or what is the other meaning? Chasm means a deep crack in the earth's surface, or very deep steep gap in the earth's surface. Okay, the old man crossed in the twilight dim. Twilight dim. Twilight means actually dusk, or we can say dim light after sunset, or it's a soft glowing light from the sky when the sun is below the horizon. Again, just have a look at the image. See, you can see the twilight dim and how he is going in a lone highway, and see the chasm. It is very deep, vast and wide. Okay, you can see the ravine. Okay, let's see the explanation of the poem. An old pilgrim is walking along a lonely highway. On a cold and grey evening, he reaches a deep and wide ravine. Okay? The old man crosses the ravine in the dim twilight. Now, let's see the figures of speech. First line, a pilgrim going a lone highway. Is there any figure of speech? Yes, that is personification. How it is personified? The highway is given the human quality of being lonely. The next line, came at evening, cold and grey. That is inversion. What is the other word of inversion? Anastrophe. Okay, very good. So then what is the correct order? So you know that inversion means the sentence is not in the correct order. What is the correct order? Came on a cold and grey evening. Next, to a chasm deep and vast and wide. Again, this is inversion. So this sentence should be to a deep and vast and wide chasm. Then one more figure of speech is there. Vast and wide, same meaning. So that is tautology. So vast and wide have similar meanings. That is why it is tautology. Again, let's have a look on the sentence. Let's see if there is any other figure of speech. Just look at the third line, that is to a chasm deep and vast and wide. Okay, see, the word and is repeated. So that is, what is the figure of speech if a word is repeated? Okay, very good, that is a repetition. Again, the next line, the old man crossed in the twilight dim. The. So, the word the is repeated. So, that is again repetition. Children, how to pronounce that word chasm? Some of the students always pronounce like this, chasm. You cannot say chasm, you should say chasm. What to say? Chasm. Okay? Say along with me, chasm. Okay. Twilight. Twilight. Okay. Twilight. How to pronounce? Twilight. Okay, clear? Okay, let's move on. And the next stanza. Okay. The chasm held no fear. The chasm held no fear for him. See, fear for him. FF is repeated. So what is the figure of speech? Okay, that is alliteration. But he paused when he reached the other side. He paused. Paused means stopped. When he stopped, when he reached the other side. After crossing the chasm, he stopped over there and built a bridge to span the tide. What did he do? He built a bridge to span the tide. To span the tide means go across the tide. He built a bridge. So, let's see any other figure of speech. He paused when he reached the other side. Again, he is repeated. So, the figure of speech is repetition. Okay. Now, let's see the explanation. So, you understood? He is an old pilgrim. So, he is an experienced person and not afraid of it. He is not afraid of that chasm. However, when he reaches the other side safely, he stops and builds a bridge across the ravine and the flowing water. Okay, clear? Next, see how did he build the bridge? Have a look on the image, children. Okay, next. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near. Why waste your time in building here? Your journey ends with the close of the day. You never again will pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build ye here at eventide? See, a fellow pilgrim asked him that why he is wasting his time building the bridge. For his journey is over and he will never pass that way again. The fellow traveler is puzzled. He was very doubtful and he asked again, why this old man has already crossed the deep and wide ravine or wide chasm is building a bridge so late in the evening? He was so confused. The other fellow pilgrim was so confused. This old pilgrim has already crossed the ravine or the chasm, and then he is building a bridge. Why is it so? Children, the meaning, A means you. This is Old English. And eventide means late evening or at the end of the day. See, can you see the question mark? Why waste your time in building here? Which figure of speech is this? You know that? Do you remember? Yes, that is interrogation. Very good. One more is there. Which one? Okay, correct. Why build A here at eventide? Very good. Have a look on the lines if there any alliteration or repetition is there. Yes? No? See, can you tell me the rhyming words? Yes, near here, day, way, wide tide. Very good. See, what is the rhyming scheme? Can you tell me near here? AA, day, way, BB, wide tide, CC. Very good. Okay, rhyming words near here, then day, way, then wide tide. Very good, very good. Okay, let's move on. Understood the meaning, no? The old pilgrim raises his old grey head. My friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followed after me today a fair-haired youth who must pass this way. Followed means what? Follows. The pilgrim, the old pilgrim, raised his old grey head. Grey here, grey means the color of his hairs, grey hair. That means, that shows that the pilgrim was an old person. And he raised and said, there is a fair-haired youth. Fair-haired youth. Okay, that means a young person behind me who has to take the path that he had or the old pilgrim had. So he says that a fair-haired youth or a young person behind me wanted to cross this chasm. Okay, understood? So he is not an experienced person like me. I am an experienced person. I am not afraid of this chasm. But he may be, that young person may be afraid of this chasm. That is why I am building the bridge over here. Okay, clear? Let's move on. Is there any figure of speech? The pilgrim raised his old grey head. No. Next, my friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followed after me today a fair-haired youth who must pass this way. Okay, understood, clear, no? Let's move on. The chasm which held no fears for me, to the fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. Pitfall means it's a hidden danger for that youth, or it's a trap. He too must cross in the twilight dim. My friend, I'm building this bridge for him. What did he said? My friend, I'm building this bridge for him. The chasm which held no fears for me. So the old man said, I'm not afraid of this chasm. because I'm an experienced person. But the young person or the fair-haired youth, it may be a pitfall, it may be a trap for him, or it may be it may be a danger for him. Okay, that is why I am building this bridge. And he also wanted to cross the chasm in the dim twilight or in the dusk. Maybe he cannot see this ravine or chasm. And so that is why he said, I am building a bridge to help this youth. Okay, he told him that he is building this bridge to help that youth. That means the underlying meaning of the poem is that those who have faced the difficulties of life successfully and are experienced must be unselfish. That means we must be unselfish always, and we should help those who are inexperienced and may face difficulties. Actually, the message, what is the message? We must be generous and unselfish and always think of others. We must try to help others' children who are not as experienced as we are. This is the message of this poem. Okay, students, I hope that you understood the figure of speech. Okay, here also one more is there. To the fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. This is inversion. Okay, what is the other word of inversion? Can you tell me? Anastrophe. Okay, so what is the correct order? To the fair-haired youth, it may be a pitfall. Pitfall here means it may be a trap, it may be a danger. Okay, students? Okay, you should read the poem and try to understand. I hope everybody understood the meaning, the figures of speech and the explanation. Okay, children? Thank you very much. Okay, let's stop today.